Hi, I'm Jacob, and today we're going to talk about the Radioddity FS-T2. This is the American version of it's the equivalent rather, of the European PRT2. So this operates on the FRS bands, or the Family Radio Service band, and the PRT2 would operate on the PMR 440 band in Europe. There are power differences between the two. This one advertises 2 watts of output power. The FCC filing actually says it's more like, what was it? I think it's 1.9 watts, which is still fine. But yeah, these are license-free radios. Anyone can use them. You don't have to identify yourself on them. Nothing like that. You can just hand these to your kids, hand them to your spouse or whoever, and keep track of each other that way. They're very simple to use, and so far I think of the 3 that I'm reviewing. So if you haven't watched the other 2 videos, I am doing a review of the FS-T1. And then the T2, which is this one, and then the T3, which is another completely different radio. These don't look anything like each other. They don't share any operational characteristics other than that they are radios. And you can change channels and things like that. But anyway, let me kind of dive into the features here. Both of these radios are the same, so I'll just pick this one. I'll show you the features on the outside first, and then we'll dive into the actual radio itself. So up here you have your antenna. It's kind of cool that it's centrally located. It's not typical to see that. It does have a pretty robust seeming strap loop up here, and the box actually does come with, let me pull these out. So it does actually come with neck length lanyards, so that you can tie these to those lanyards and then have them around your neck, which is kind of cool. So along the left side of the radio, we do have a push to talk button, and we have a scan/lock button, and I'll show you how those work in just a minute. And then we have a monitor button, which I'll also show you in just a second, but this lets you just kind of hear exactly what's on that channel without your squelch. It'll sound horrible. It'll just be a bunch of white noise, but you can do that. On the back, you do have a belt clip. You have to attach it with the screw. It's very easy to do, but it attaches to the battery pack. The battery pack charges with micro USB. The box comes with a micro USB cable, USB on one end, and then 2 micro USB heads on the other. So that's really convenient, and it has a charging light as well to tell you orange if it's charging and green if it's done. So and then we can pop the battery off, and surprisingly the back here is metal. So this was actually a surprise when I saw the back of this. It feels like a pretty solidly constructed radio. And you can see there's the FCC Id as well. Let me actually just focus again. So yeah, you can see there's the FCC Id. You can look this up on the internet. It goes through all the specs of, frequency and power output and things like that. And actually, when you put the battery on, because the power button is electronic, it's not a physical switch, it automatically turns on when you put the battery in. So normally you would press and hold this power button to turn it on and off. So I've already shown you that. You do have up and down buttons here. Now, one of the interesting things about the way this user interface works is you have this little graph down here in the bottom right, and this is actually your volume. So if you press up, it turns up your volume. You press down, it turns down the volume. But to change the channel, you have to press the menu button, and now the channel number starts flashing, and now you can click the up and down buttons to change the channel. But now you're also in the menu. So you can either wait for it to go back to normal operation, or you can cycle through the whole menu to get back. And now I'm going to go through all the features of the menu, and it is tough to remember what all these things are, because it's you'll see. So if I go into the menu here, there's the channel, and then over here there's off, and then 01, 02. These are your CTCSS codes. Let me actually get closer because the text is kind of small on this one. So those are your CTCSS codes. So those are what you use to make your conversation, make it so you don't have to hear other people talking on the same channel. They can still hear you, but you just won't be able to hear them. And so then if I go to the next menu item, we've got Vox, so it highlights Vox down here in the corner, and so that's off right now, and that's just voice activated operation. So I actually just turned it up to 0 to 1, and so there's different sensitivity levels. So basically, when you speak, when it hears you speak, it starts transmitting. There is the key tone. So this is when you, sorry, I had to look it up. So this is when you press buttons, it makes a sound. So I actually have that turned off right now. And then we have the Roger tone. So this is when you stop transmitting, it'll do a little burp, a little, little beepy sound. I have that turned off as well, because I personally think that's annoying, but it could be useful. If somebody's having a hard time hearing you, at least they know that you made a transmission, because it'll have this distinctive sound at the end. So it could be useful. And there's one more menu option. So this is weather. So I have the weather set to channel 3, but how do I actually get into weather? So now that I've selected what weather channel I want to be monitoring, now when I'm back in the normal UI, I can press this M button one time, and that will turn on the weather mode. And then I press it again and go back to normal. So that's a little different. You have to preset what weather channel you want to listen to, and these are the NOAA weather channels in America. And but then you can just easily turn it on and off. So that's different from the T1, where you had to go into a menu to even turn it on. So anyway, it's interesting, the differences there. So then we also have the S button here, which is the scan. So you just click it once and it'll just start scanning through all the channels. And if any activity pops up, it will stop and play that audio for you. So I'm going to stop scanning now. It actually, oh right, I have to go to the menu. Let's get out of here. Okay. And then the other function of that button is a long press. So I'm kind of just waiting for the menu to to get out here. So if I press and hold this SL button, there's now a little key icon down here, and that means that the keys are locked. So I can't change the volume. I can't go into the menu. I can still use the monitor key, which opens up the squelch. Can I still transmit? Yes, I can still transmit. So the lock key keeps you from changing the volume going into the menu, but you can still monitor and transmit, which is kind of nice. So let me press and hold to take the lock off, and then you saw me use the monitor button there. The last thing is over here we have our headset microphone port here. It's just one. The anchor for this door is down here, but here's the port. And that takes a 4-prong connector, which, let me go ahead and turn this off. Which you get 2 of these in the box. These are little, I guess you could call them like CIA style or whatever, but they are 4-prong or TRRS connectors. And they do have push buttons for the mics. So you could feed this up through your tuxedo and be a secret agent for a little bit. So let me put that back in here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it does come with a USB charger. You don't have to supply your own USB charger. It also comes with a full-featured manual. So it even shows you, if you were going to program with a computer, if you're going to program this radio, it shows you how to do that with pictures and everything, and then it has some tech specs, including a frequency table for FRS and all that, and then it has the rest of it in German. So yeah, the manual is actually really great, and it's written very well. So definitely a refreshing change from other radios I've been messing with recently. So that's really it. I really like these radios. I think they're, they've got kind of a cool look to them. They're yellow, so the higher visibility, I guess, you could find it in a bag easier. They have kind of an ambidextrous kind of design to them, since they're symmetrical with the antenna in the middle. The range I got out of it was about half a mile within my neighborhood, so that was transmitting through a bunch of houses and things like that. And I mean, there's a lot of interference and stuff around here, so I was actually really happy to get half a mile out of there. So if you want to hand these to your kids and keep track of them in the neighborhood, or let them tell you, hey, I'm going to go over to Timmy's house or whatever, I think this would be really great. As long as they're not going to go more than half a mile away, then these will be really useful. So they're very simple to use. They don't have a whole bunch of options, or at least you don't have to use those options. Yeah, I think they're pretty great radios. They feel pretty solid. Time will tell how well they hold up, but so far I like these. So hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this content, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I post fairly often, but you might want to hit the notification bell just to make sure that you hear about when I actually post. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you want to see more about radios? Do you have any questions about these or about other radios in particular? Are you interested in amateur radio stuff? Because I am a licensed ham operator, so if you're interested in more content like that, I can dispense the little knowledge I have about it. But yeah, let me know what you want to hear, and this channel's still pretty early, so you can help me kind of figure out what y'all want to see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.